Well, it's another day and another episode here at the Crazy Geezer podcast. And today I have a very special guest. He is an independent actor for the last 5 years. His name's Robert Todd Kennedy. Welcome.
Nice to be here. Good to see you again, Chris.
Yeah, it's been a minute, hasn't it?
A minute, but we always seem to run into each other somewhere.
Tomorrow, maybe?
Probably. Good chance, I think.
Yeah, I like our chances. So, what Robert and I are talking about is we're making another movie, and Robert is going to be one of the actors in it. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. So let's go back to when you and I first met. We met on the set of Swine and Dine.
Right. Swine and Dine, a short film by Black Ave Films. Good time.
That was fun.
Yes. Very fun.
It was fun, award-winning, just like you said. Ron Black and Chris Ave were guests on my show previously. We did talk about Swine and Dine, and now they're working on other projects. So eventually I'll have to bring them back on the show just so I can let them inflate their egos a little bit.
I don't think Ron needs to inflate his anymore. Chris is a strong silent type. Ron, not silent at all.
No. They're like yin and yang. Two sides of the same coin.
Boy, you got that right. Good guys though, and working on their first feature, they're going to go places. They're showing a lot right off the bat, which is always great.
Well, it seems every project that Black Ave produces and creates, you're in it, which is great.
Yeah, well, I love it. Yeah, I've known them for a little bit, and always willing to help them out with anything they need, either in front of or behind the camera. It's always a good time.
Well, in the case of Crimson Harvest, which we're going back to shooting next month, I don't know if you're going to be there or not. I know that I saw the trailer recently. Ron Black is in the movie, as you are, too.
Yeah, he and I actually did a couple of scenes together with Mark Haynes and Danny Langston. And a lot of fun.
Is that how you got into Swine and Dine, was through Crimson Harvest?
No, we actually met on something else a little earlier. I can't remember which exactly it was, but Crimson Harvest is where we really connected, I guess. And I don't know, Ron and I just seem to mesh. We seem to be good working partners, especially on screen. I think we just have this dynamic. I can't think of any other word to use. We just seem to bounce off each other really good.
I mean, I saw the chemistry work out on set.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. You just, certain actors you just connect with. Me and Ron seem to just work really well together. Erica Dyer and I, we just click. Felissa Rose, she and I have done a few movies together, and she says she loves working with me. There's just something about our connection which blew me away. But
let's talk about that real quick. Macabre Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And how can people watch the movie? It's on Tubi, right?
I believe it's on Tubi, and it may still be on Amazon as well. And I'm sure if you contact myself or Xander Goldman, we could probably get a Blu-ray or a DVD to somebody if they wanted a physical copy as well.
Well, right, like I did last year at the New Jersey Horror Con when I saw you again because I went to your table to hang out with you a little bit, and Ron brought me over. He's like, "Hey, come with me real quick," and then you were there. Oh, Robert. And then that began Crimson Harvest, and it's like I had no idea how many people were involved until the trailer. Like Paul Sutt, for instance, Chase Kill.
Yes.
And he's in Crimson Harvest. I'm like, it has to be Crimson Harvest. That's the answer to everything.
A lot of us kind of connected through New Jersey Horror Cons. We just kind of fell into each other. Xander, myself, Ron Black, Chris Ave, Paul, Diane Clayton. We all just sort of kept running into each other, and we're all kind of in the same area. So working on each other's films is pretty easy, and everybody's great. We get along. There's not a lot of drama. It's as much fun just hanging out as it is filming.
What was it? Who was the last guest? Oh yeah, it was Josh from Crimson Harvest, who was on the show last week, and him and I talked about leaving your ego at the door. You're here to do a job.
Yeah, exactly. You're not. None of us are Tom Hanks. None of us are Denzel. We're
not going to be. Don't want to be.
Exactly, and you're trying to make the best movie you can on a shoestring, with a lot of good people, and you just want to bring your A game, hope everybody else brings their A game, and see what you end up with. There's definitely no room for divas, because none of us are divas.
No.
Not even close.
I mean, I'm sure I've seen drama on set, but none of the productions you were on.
No, I can't think of anything that's happened on a set I've been on. Maybe one small incident with an actor, but most of the people I've been with, I've been fortunate now. Behind the camera, there's been some drama between others, but no, I really haven't had any issues with anybody.
Good. I'm glad. And you've been doing this for 5 years.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
Coming up on 5, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, worked for the post office for 34 and a half years, and then retired, had a good 6 months, and then COVID hit. Sat in the house for Lord knows how long trying to figure out what am I going to do when this finally lifts, and always wanted to be in a horror movie, so I thought, let me try one. Got into one. Okay, let's try another one. All right, maybe I'll do 5. And then, I don't know, the dam broke and just getting calls left and right.
No kidding. So what was the first movie you worked on? What was your on-screen debut?
That was, I believe, Abel Barry's film. I'm trying to think of which one I filmed first versus which one was released first.
Start with the one you filmed first, because that's technically your first movie.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly if it was Stream or if it was Abel's film. What was it? I'm drawing a total blank.
That's all right.
God.
Well, anyways, you mentioned Stream, so so the audience is aware. If you're familiar with the Terrifier movies, Art the Clown, it's the same producers that created Stream, and it's going to become its own franchise. In fact, what was it? You weren't there, but there was a night over at Smod Castle where there was a special screening of Stream. Yes. And I got to see you on the big screen, which for me was a treat, because it's like, hey, I know that guy. I know this guy. It was like, that's all you got was 2 seconds? What the hell, man?
Yeah, I thought I was going to have a lot more. We did a long tracking shot, and we did a close-up, and then, oh, man. But, just to be in that movie, Tony Todd and Tim Curry and Felissa Rose and just on and on. It was just Tim Reed. Every time the scene changes, there's another person
Exactly.
And, yeah, and I was just thrilled to be in that one. My head's coming back to me. I believe the first time I was on set was Abel Barry's film, Dr. Gift. Then I believe I went to Josh Graves' Late Checkout and Sean C. Phillips' Woods Witch, and then things just went crazy from there.
Wow. So when do you think you started getting phone calls? Was it the second, the third movie?
No, it was a little longer than that. Maybe the 10th movie.
Wow.
I would guess the 10th movie, because so many guys work on each other's movies. I worked with Tory Graves, and Roman Jossert was there, and you kind of make friends, and you just keep crossing over. And it's a very smaller neighborhood than I thought it would be. I mean, there are constantly new folks getting in it, but every film I do, there's 5, 10, 15 people between cast and crew that I know that I've worked with before.
It almost becomes a family, doesn't it? That, according to Ron, anyway.
Yeah, it is to me. I mean, I consider everybody family. They're all good folks. They're all creative. We're all trying to have a good time, but make something people like. So, yeah, I mean, I consider most everyone more family than anything. As soon as you walk on set, everybody's giving you hugs and missed you and, how you doing, and didn't know you were going to be here. And so, yeah, that's always cool.
Or I'm racing up to you with a handshake saying, hey, do you need anything while I'm a production assistant on a couple of sets?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm still waiting for the steak and lobster I asked for on Crimson Harvest. I guess that's not going to happen.
It could
But
happen.
yeah.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what. There's an event coming up in July, I think, where Xander Goldman's going to be in costume as the Killer Scarecrow from Crimson Harvest over at the Blairstown Diner, which is where
Oh,
Friday the
cool.
13th was shot.
Right, and that's where we filmed a lot of
Yep.
Crimson Harvest. So.
And so he's showing up in costume. I could buy your steak and lobster there. How's that sound?
Sounds good. I don't know how good it would be at the Blairstown Diner. I'll tell you what, I'll take one of those burgers. Their burgers are out of this world.
Really? I hear the milkshakes are great too.
Oh God, yes. You gotta if you're in Blairstown, you gotta get a milkshake at the Blairstown Diner.
Wow.
Absolutely.
What flavor did you get, if any?
Chocolate, always chocolate.
It's a coin toss between strawberry or chocolate.
Yeah, and I think it's the pretty basic choices. I think vanilla, strawberry, chocolate. They may have one or two others, but
Maybe.
what they do good.
Well, I'm gonna try and go. That reminds me, I have to get a hold of Xander and make sure it's okay that if I go, because I'm supposed to be meeting up with him on the 19th and the 21st next month, like I discussed earlier with you, and I'm hoping you'll be there.
Oh yeah, I'm the one who found the location, and
Yep.
now we're just trying to find a day or night or two where everybody can be here. It took me a while to get the locations, and then unfortunately, it's kind of a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday kind of thing. There's
Yeah.
two different locations they use professionally. We can shoot at night, so it's a matter of finding a couple of days where everybody else can be there. But yeah, I'll be there.
Oh, wait a minute, we're shooting at night?
I don't know what we're doing. We're still trying to figure it out.
Never mind. No, because I already booked the days off with my employer in advance.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure that
the goal was daytime.
I thought so.
But if we have to one day and one night, I don't know. We'll find out.
You know, it's irrelevant. We're both from the mystical state known as Delaware. We're shooting in Delaware. We're going to our homes as soon as we're finished. So,
Right.
It's like if we're only getting a few hours of sleep, believe me, that's the least of our worries.
Right. And
Plus, also, I told Xander in advance, like, if someone needed to crash on my couch, just to save a few $100 on a hotel room, that's fine.
right. Yeah, and one location's 10 minutes from my house and one's 25 at the most. So
That's nothing.
we're everything's in Newcastle County, so it's just a matter of finding the day that works for everyone.
Yeah, which is always the struggle with any production is timing and finances.
Yep. Finance is probably most, but
Don't even talk about that towards me because I'm not there yet. I've only got a few movies under my belt.
I've got about 45, but mostly as an actor, and I've contributed as a producer, a few other things, but making my own, I'm not sure if I'm ready for that or if I'll ever be, but I wouldn't mind taking a shot at one.
Well, take this however you want, but start small. Even if it's just 2 minutes,
sure.
5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah. I would definitely do a short or two first, just to get something out there, a little bit of quality as far as audio and video, and then I'd go from there.
Exactly. It's like don't jump in with both feet with like a full length. You want to start small, like YouTube style.
Right.
Even if it's a reel, like Facebook, Instagram.
Yep. Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of people and learning the best way to eventually get to that point. But right now I have so much on my schedule acting wise. That's a next year or beyond thought as far as making something.
Have you thought about in between takes learning how the behind the scenes work, as far as lighting, equipment wise, or are you just so focused on your lines, just making sure you execute properly?
If it's a long scene with a lot of lines, then I'll probably just be focusing on the lines. But if it's just a couple lines here, a couple lines there, or if I just have it locked down, then I'm always watching what's going on between takes. I usually get there early. I never leave until the day's wrapped.
Right.
just to observe, just to hang out. And I mean, I've done the boom mic a few times when needed, or
Excuse me.
drove by laying home from a film set because the Uber never showed up. I mean, whatever I'm needed to do. You need me to go to the grocery store, grab some snacks or some water.
Dude, that's my job.
Oh, I know that. But sometimes, as you know, we got to pick somebody up at the airport. We need water. We need, who can do this? Somebody's got to go to Home Depot, get a rope and a shovel.
Right.
You can't do three things at once. So obviously I defer to the assistants, but if I'm needed, I'm there.
I understand. I get you 100%. So two things. Tomorrow, when we're working together, I'm working camera B and the boom mic. Feel free to shadow me or guide me. It's a two-way street, right? It's like, hey, instead of this, Chris, why don't you try this instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way. Yeah, that's. I mean, if you get on something big, everybody's got their job, their role. Don't mess with my job. I don't mess with yours. But on the indie films, we all have to help out each other. You come up with a line that might be a little different for the next take. You talk about it. It's either either do it or you don't. If somebody comes up with an idea, different angle, different lighting, it's always good if you have something you think is a good idea to make the suggestion. At least it gives the director, the cameraman, it gives them an option. They can consider it. And when they say, nah, it's okay, you just don't be butthurt by it.
Right.
If you can't take it personal if they say, that's interesting, but now we're going to keep it the way it is.
I can give you.
Some people do get up, I got a good idea. Well, we don't have enough lighting, or we'd have to reset everything, and they get a little upset. And it's like, you can't.
Well, dealing with love in a way was a test, because it wasn't just me trying to remember my lines and execute them, which we pull through. It was also like, well, instead of this, how about we do this? Or wait a minute, you changed your mind about this, and it's like you said, it's like sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Right.
And my job is just to go with the flow of the director.
Yeah, you have to be flexible, because you have a good idea of who your character is and how you want to play them. But the director, especially if he also wrote the script, obviously he has in his head what he wants from that character. It has to be a collaboration sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes they just turn you loose. I've seen you before. I've worked with you before. Just do your thing. And if I want to change a line or a word, we will. But, you just never know on a set. I mean, again, like a big studio film, you're going to have a role, and that's going to be your role.
Right.
I had, on Late Checkout, as a matter of fact, I was playing a blogger, and another actor was playing a psychologist. And I just came with a nice white dress shirt, and I had glasses, and he had a flannel and a hat. And 10 minutes before we started filming, they came up to us and said, we're going to switch you two. Todd, you're going to be the psychologist, and you're going to be the blogger, because you just look the parts. So
I can see that.
You've got 10 minutes to forget everything you've been studying for a week. And then you've got 10 minutes to learn the other person's part. And then, the hard part's filming, because when the other person's saying their lines, you've still got them in your head. It's like, I hope I'm not moving my lips while he's saying the lines or anything. But I mean, we pulled it off. I mean, we did everything in one or two takes, but it was panic mode there. And I ended up with a couple less lines. So I think he had the harder assignment. But
damn.
I mean, if anybody's seen the movie, it's at the end of the movie. We're with Felissa. She's taking us through the cabin, and it came out great. So
that is cool.
We persevered, but that was only like my third movie, I think. So I was freaking, but
well,
it worked.
Speaking of Felissa Rose, you two were in Macabre Mountain.
Yeah, we were together in Macabre Mountain. She plays a horror actress, and I'm her assistant. Personal assistant, bodyguard, limo driver, jack of all trades.
Wow.
And I went into that one thinking to play the character more professionally, more business-like. So if you notice, like the first scene or two, and I mean, it kind of worked that way because there were other people in the scene, so you wanted to give off that kind of professional vibe. But after we did a couple of scenes, Felissa said, I don't know, we really click. I really feel something about me and you working together and your character and my character. She said, I want to soften you up. I want it to be where when the camera's on, when we're, as far as the movie, within the movie, as far as autograph signings or appearances or whatnot, you're all business. You're my bodyguard. But then somebody walks away, you find out you're the only man I've ever trusted. I confide in you, and we'll start, making cracks behind people's backs and that kind of stuff. And that was all her. That wasn't in the script, and we didn't even ask. I just followed Felissa's lead. But yeah, sometimes you try to do it word for word, but you put it in your own words. And sometimes the script gets thrown out the window, and we're all ad-libbing. So as long as it comes out good, either way works for me.
Well, McCall Mountain turned out pretty good. You did good. Felissa did great. Handsome Danny Langston did good. Sandra was amazing.
Yep.
Ashley Ray was good.
Yeah. Oh, Ashley. I thought Ashley was fantastic.
She made you believe she was a real-life podcaster.
Yeah, and just, I don't know, like I did a screening in Delaware, and a lot of people at the screening and via messages and talking later, everybody mentioned Ashley. They, that one girl, the vlogger with the blonde. I was like, yeah, I mean, I've seen the movie a few times. I knew how good she did, but yeah, she was one person that just a lot of people that I know from living in Delaware for 62 years, they all singled her out. And if, other performances as well, but, a few people with this, a few people that, but they loved her. And I believe that was her first film, if I'm not mistaken.
Who could tell?
Yeah, exactly. She knocked it out of the park.
Well, then again, she could have been prepping her whole life for that one moment that she got.
Well, that's true.
Could be.
You never know.
Never know unless you ask her. So, Ashley Ray, if you're watching, you're welcome on the show whenever you want.
There you go.
I'm trying to interview all of our friends, Robert. Or excuse me, some people call you Todd. What the hell do I call you?
Most people Todd.
Is it okay if I call you Robert, or do you want me to call you Todd?
You can call me Robert. It turned into one of those things where my parents wanted to call me Todd, and after my dad, Robert, but they didn't like the way Todd Robert sounded, so they Robert Todd Kennedy. So I go by my middle name, but at the post office, other jobs, school, it's Robert T. Kennedy on your cards and everything. So people that have known me since I was a kid, it's always been Todd, but later on it's Robert. And when I started this, I was kind of like, well, if I just go with Todd Kennedy, people that know me from Robert, they're not going to, see any of the movies that we're making. So I just went with the full name.
And it works because Josh from last week's episode refers to you as RTK.
Yeah, well, that came from wrestling. We were talking about wrestling before. I was a big East Coast Wrestling Association supporter for a long time.
ECWA.
Yeah, and until they sold the company and moved away, and I still try to get the shows, but they're just kind of far. But yeah, the folks at ECWA just started calling me RTK.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it just kind of stuck. And a few people in the films I know from wrestling as well. So they started calling me RTK on sets, and it just kind of stuck. So
was one of them Vinny Pacifico?
Yeah. Vinny's come along later. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yes, he is.
He's a very good wrestler.
Yes, he is.
Wrestled all over. He's been in Germany recently,
Yep.
Saudi Arabia, I believe.
Last I checked, he was in Florida.
Yeah, I think he was in California. Now he's
Yep.
in Florida. I saw him wrestle in ECWA when he was just starting out. A lot of guys,
Wow.
ECWA. That's where Brian Danielson, Daniel Bryan, whichever you prefer, started. The Hardy Boys went through ECWA.
I think Edge and Christian did too.
Angel, Christopher Daniels, Edge and Christian. Yeah, I mean, people that are wrestling fans, but they only worry about the WWE and whatnot.
Or WCW.
Right.
Yeah.
And, now AEW. You just go to your local promotion, you pay $5 or $10, and it's just amazing who you will have seen, 5 or 10 years from now, like the ECWA Women's Super 8. Every star on AEW right now was in the Super 8. Britt Baker, I mean, all of them. They were, the men and the women. If you're a real wrestling fan, you go to that indie promotion, pay $10 or $20, you get some pictures and buy some T-shirts with some 18, 20, 22-year-old guy or dude. And then 2 years later, he's in the WWE. I mean, Yuta Wheeler right now is pretty big in AEW.
Yep.
And he was in ECWA at the last Women's Super 8, one of the 3 other matches outside of the Super 8. Now he's huge. It's crazy thinking that so many of the young stars, up-and-coming guys I met are huge stars now.
There was one wrestler in ECWA. His name was Frederick of Hollywood, and he was part of a tag team in WWE later.
Yeah.
With Titus O'Neil, right?
Yeah. And he was the New Japan Strong heavyweight champion. He's in New Japan right now.
Titus or Frederick?
No, Frederick.
Wow.
Yeah, he's for about the past 2 or 3 years, he's been one of the top dogs in New Japan Strong, the U.S. side of the promotion. Yeah, he was the champ. But I have a picture with him at the Boys Club in Bear with his Frederick of Hollywood gimmick. So yeah, I met him then, and now he was in the WWE. I guess it was WWE by then, starting out, and I think he was part of the Nexus, if I'm not mistaken. But,
maybe.
Yeah, I can't swear to that, but he was there a little while, and then he's, like I said, New Japan Strong champion. So don't get much bigger than that.
No kidding. Well, speaking of ECWA, I used to work ring crew and security for a period.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I was a lumberjack in a women's lumberjack title match. I was a ring announcer one time. I was Maria Manick's male valet manager one time. They had a fan battle royal. I was in that. I had some good times in ECWA. Chris Wilde, whenever he was outside the ring, would get somebody in a full Nelson for me to chop. So,
Oh, that's cool.
it was cool not to just be a fan, but to actually get involved.
Absolutely. So the next time you and I hang out, I hope that Vinny Pacifico specifically and maybe Clifton Taylor, get the 4 of us together. It's going to be a great time because you already know this, Robert, but was it Vinny Pacifico and Clifton Taylor, or one's a former wrestler, the other's a current wrestler. And you weren't there on night 1, but you were there for night 2 as a EMT or a paramedic. But that's all we talked about was wrestling, was Vinny and myself and Clifton whenever we had the chance. It was so much fun.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's...
Because we were talking about like what ifs, because I tried out for pro wrestling school when I was 20 years old back in 1999 over at the Monster Factory in Mantua, New Jersey. It was ran by Pretty Boy Larry Sharp at the time.
Larry Sharp? Yes, it was.
And who's who have come out of that school? I think the most recent was Damian Priest.
Yes, I believe so.
And I think the current owner is Danny Cage.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I can't swear to that, but I think so, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, if I'd have known back when I was, 18, 19, how to get into wrestling, I probably would have. No internet, not knowing anybody, just it didn't seem like a thing. Even with acting, I mean, really, since about, I'd say 1969, 1970. That's when I was only 6 or 7 years old, but that's where I really clicked with pro wrestling, watching it with my grandfather, and then my dad was watching it. So
Are you talking about the Worldwide Wrestling Federation?
yeah, WWWF,
Yep.
which was all we.
And that was ran and operated by Vince Sr., and a shareholder was Gorilla Monsoon. He owned 20%.
Yes, yes, and that's where my wrestling fandom started, and about the same time, that's when my horror fandom started with Dr. Shock, whose shirt I am wearing right now.
Oh, check that out.
He's his Mad Theater and Horror Theater. Saturday afternoons, if I didn't have a baseball game or whatnot, I was watching Dr. Shock.
So
And
I have to ask you this real quick. You obviously watch wrestling. You love horror movies. Do you know of the wrestler Danhausen?
oh yeah, of course, yes.
Okay, because Xander's a big fan. Turns out Paul Sutt's a big fan, and now I know you're a big fan, so I have an idea. So, guys, if everyone's listening, hear me out real quick. You're familiar with Batman '89 with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton?
Yeah,
Let's dress up as like the Joker's goons, with the hat and the leather jackets. But instead of the Joker symbol here, it's Danhausen's symbol where it says "Love that Danhausen or be cursed."
nice.
And I'm thinking we could be Danhausen goons. That would be great for like a WrestleMania thing.
Sure would. Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't know he was making the move. I was shocked.
Paul Sutt and Daniel Blake, who's in For Dealing with Love, and he's also the ambassador for Trauma. I'm sure you know this.
Right. Yeah.
They predicted on Facebook, like, I bet Saturday night's going to be Danhausen. And I both said to them, I pray that you're right, because that would be amazing. And it turned out that not only were they right, but you remember, so did you see the sequence on how he debuted where he showed up in a crate and then it opened a coffin opened?
Yeah.
I know why. I know how that happened. It was borrowed from Dracula. When his coffin was being sent from Transylvania over to London on a ship on the
Right.
Demeter. That was where the crate came from, Transylvania.
Okay, that makes sense. They're always thinking.
And his makeup was inspired by was it the demon from The Exorcist?
Right, Pazuzu,
Pazuzu, yeah.
who's played by Eileen Dietz. I've met her. We've been on a couple sets together, but I didn't have the pleasure of.
That's right. A woman played the character.
Yes, it's Eileen Dietz. She's just a tiny little thing, but she's so nice. She's still full of energy. She's been at New Jersey Horror Con once or twice in the past. Hopefully they bring her back.
Are you going to go this year or no?
If I'm home, yeah, absolutely, because I'm sure Xander will be promoting Crimson Harvest.
Yeah.
Diane will be promoting Then Came a Rainbow and The Forgotten or Awake in the Dark. It's one of those two is what the title's going to be. And, of course, Ron will have Within the Cracks there. So.
Oh, so he's not going to – okay, so Ron and Chris.
Oh, you know what? I think Ron and Chris are going to be in Tennessee.
What?
Yeah, I think they might. I'm not sure. I can't keep track. I can't keep track of myself, let alone everybody else.
For Dealing with Love is premiering on May the 30th over at the Theater N in Wilmington.
In Wilmington?
Yeah, so that for me, it's going to be my senior prom that I never had.
Yeah, right. Wow.
I mean, it's a screen.
When did you say that is?
What's that?
May 30th? Did you say it's May 30th?
May 30th. It's a Saturday. But unfortunately, Brian Wild said that it was the only date he could get. And it does conflict with the New Jersey Horror Con. So I've already had a few people already bail, and I get it. You got to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Because one of my co-stars is going to be at Jersey Horror Con, too.
Okay. How long is Delia? What's the run?
About 15 minutes.
Wonder maybe I can put something together with another movie later this year. It could perhaps open, and then we could show the feature.
Talk to Brian.
I don't know. I'll see what I can work out. Yeah, I'll talk to him.
Because again, I want as many of our friends to come as possible, but this is a scheduling conflict, and it's just a part of the business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. Believe me. I almost never make it to premieres. They're either California, Las Vegas, Dallas, or I've got something going on the same weekend. And premieres for me have been a rarity.
Wow. Well, because you're that busy, right?
Yeah, and it's always weekends. I mean, the premieres are usually on Friday or Saturday, and the cons are always on the weekend. And a lot of filmmakers in the indie world, they're filming in batches. So they do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Then a couple weeks later, they do another Friday, Saturday. It's not often. Well, I shouldn't say not often. Probably 50% of the time, I just go to a movie and they're shooting it straight through. And the other half, it comes in bunches, like Crimson Harvest. We filmed in May, and we filmed in September. And in part because of the field, it's set on a farm, so you need planting season and then you need reaping season. So, we deliberately filmed 6 months apart, and that allows you to get that first part done and bring in some more funds to finish it. So, you just never know, but it just seems like weekends, something's always happening. and I'm retired, so I tell them all I can film any day. And if it's not the weekend, it always seems to be Friday or Monday. So it's still the travel, still kills the weekend.
Well, I mean, this weekend,
but better to be busy.
Well, I mean, tomorrow's kind of an exception because the director is also a full-time school teacher.
Right. And I mean, it doesn't matter to me that it's a weekend. It's just why I can't get to premieres.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me when I film, but the first thing is to make it convenient for the filmmaker. Let me know when you need me, and if at all possible, that's the day or days I'll be there.
See, you and I got the same mindset. It's like, what can we do to just make things better? And Fiona's like, everything's fine. Fiona Johnson's the director, by the way, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Yes. And it's going to be a good time. It's a short. It's got some fun, and it's got some not so fun. So
I think you that's a very accurate description.
Yeah.
I saw this script. I'm like, is that it? And Fiona's like, what? What's wrong? I'm like, you only need these few pages? She's like, yeah, why? I'm just making sure that my eyesight doesn't have gone bad. Because knowing me, I'm expecting a 20-page script or something.
Right. But I mean, the pages. I've been in movies that had 70 pages and they were an hour and 45 minutes long. I've been in movies with 105 pages that were 80 minutes long.
Oh, God.
So, you got all that action and background, and you just got all the stuff that doesn't involve dialogue. So sometimes pages are tricky to go by, but this is a short, and it's her first. Right?
Yes, I believe it is, and that's why I was happy that you're going to be there. Yeah. I will be there behind the scenes. Josh will be there.
Right. We all have different other skills. And, as you said earlier when we were talking about whether I was going to do something, always do a short or two first. And, I mean, a short, with the script, this could be 3 minutes, 5 minutes. You could pull it to 7 minutes. It just depends on all the action that you add.
I'm wondering, once the movie is made, which I know we're talking way in advance here, if the movie will be available on YouTube or she's going to have a premiere. I want nothing but the best for Fiona.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I definitely want this to go great. I know they're talking about a feature next year. So this is how you do it. You do a short, you do the editing, you see what, hopefully it came out perfectly the way you wanted it. If not, you do another short or two, and you keep building. And, then when you're ready for that feature, you just dive in head first. So it's the way to go. I know that. I've told other filmmakers. I've had people, their first film, start a crowdfunder, and they're trying to get $150,000, and it's like, that's not going to happen. Nobody knows you. You don't have anything out there. You start low. You start 3,500, 5,000, and then you go from there. Maybe if you just don't have that name out there, it's just, it's not going to work. People don't have anything to see. Like you had mentioned with the Crimson Harvest trailer. Man, I can't believe all the positive comments from that.
I'm not surprised. Why are you?
Well, no, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised in that so many people have said something to me about it. I put a trailer on there. Most people will put like, love, whatever, and can't wait. But the trailer for Crimson Harvest, a lot of people, and last I counted like 30, 35 people reached out and said, man, that looks fantastic. A couple people said, did you do that in 4K? And I was like, I was acting. I was in front of the camera. I know we had, I believe we had the Reds. I don't think it was an Aries, but I mean, the movie just looks fantastic. It's lit. And I mean, that's something that all the movies I've done before, a person or two mentioned, hey, it's got pretty good color, or hey, this, that, or the other. People that have seen the Crimson Harvest trailer are raving about it. And I don't mean just the movie part, the acting part. I'm talking the look and the sound. So
I'm thinking everything. Overall, the trailer looks like it was like a theatrical trailer that you see in a theater, not on YouTube.
Right, and that's right. A lot of people have told me that too. So that's encouraging as well. And other movies I've been in, I've heard a lot of the same things. But nothing like this, nothing away from the story or the concept, just look, sound. So, I'm hoping we can wrap this thing up next month. We got 2 days. It's proving difficult to find 2 days where the two main actors and the crew can all get there. Certain days, the location we can have in the daytime, others we can have at night. So it's proving difficult. But when we get these 2 days in, I think we're finished. And then I think Xander wants to get it out to the world in August or September.
That's
early fall.
This year or next year? What?
This year. I think, I'm pretty sure they've been editing all of
That's
that.
what I'm thinking too, because if you're telling me the movie's going to be out that fast, I'm pretty sure Xander was like, let's just edit as we go.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's what they've done.
Well, I mean, if it were me, I would have too. That's smart.
Yeah. So I think we get these 2 days done. I was going to say 2 scenes. It's more than 2 scenes, but we get this done, and I think that's it. We'd have to check with Xander to find out for sure if there's anything left, but I think it's mostly done. So
well, this is just a thought. The Blairstown Diner, get together in July. I was going to ask Xander then. It's like, well, how's everything looking? And try to get an inkling of a release date without asking for an exact release date, because that's none of my business.
Yeah, we're like, I talked to him, and it's still very fluid trying to get these 2 days in. I had assumed late this year, early next year, but no, he's I'm pretty sure he's shooting for early fall, late summer, early fall. So,
I hope early fall in
hopefully.
time for Halloween. The timing would be perfect. That'll give him more time to just buffer out whatever issues there are. And if it's ready, we'll just let it sit in the can until it's time. Let the anticipation build up itself,
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm only saying that as a movie fan. I'm not trying to give advice or suggestions or anything. I'm no expert. I'm just a fan.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I always toss stuff out there, but at the end of the day,
exactly,
it's all his call. I'm good either way. I'll try to get a Delaware premiere like I did with Macabre Mountain. Hopefully, we can do it again at Movie 6. Is that what it is? Movie 6 on Main Street
in Newark. Is that what it's called?
Main Street Movies, and it's some. I honestly can't remember.
I thought it was just a Newark theater.
Main Street. It might just be Main Street Movies, but yeah, that's where we did the Macabre Mountain, and we had over 100 people show up. So I was happy, and hopefully we can do that again with this one.
I'll be there. I mean, not just because I worked as a production assistant or hung out with you and the rest of the casting crew, but I'm a fan of what's coming up because a Killer Scarecrow. It's almost something out of a Batman movie.
I try to get I try to get any Delaware premiere by Delaware people. If I hear about it, I'll go to the screening room in Wilmington or the Middletown, the Everett Theater. Wherever, if anybody's got something homegrown, I always try to check it out. Support indie film. How many times do we have to say it? Everybody support indie film.
Exactly, especially in Delaware, because now we're starting to generate a buzz, a good buzz.
Yeah, we are. Definitely. Keep your eyes and ears.
New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, I think Maryland also. I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, Maryland's got some stuff going on too. I mean, for the longest time here, it's been Pittsburgh, Ohio, Kentucky, Georgia, North Carolina. Obviously New York City, but you're not doing an indie in New York City.
No.
If you're going to New York, you're auditioning for Law and Order or The Walking Dead, Dead City or something.
Walking Dead. That's funny.
Hey, I'm trying.
Robert Todd Kennedy as a zombie in The Walking Dead.
There you go. Be my second zombie.
It's like he finally got infected. No.
Everybody's got to go sometime, especially in that universe.
Or in my case, Infidelity with Love, I officially became a male scream queen.
Nice. We need more of those. There aren't many.
It's usually women who are the victims, except this one, the guy gets chopped up.
Sweet.
And I tell friends and relatives, like, if you ever want to see me get chopped up in a movie, then this is for you.
Right. If you're ever mad at me,
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's something different. You got to do something different. Everything's all the same.
Well,
nobody's coming up with. I mean, it's hard to come up with new ideas because there's only been about a gazillion horror movies made since the 20s or earlier. But
let me ask you this real quick. I haven't. I mean, we talked about this in the chat in private, but I'm brainstorming a script for Ron and Chris to star in, and it's called Gus versus Bob. It's about two best friends who happen to be practical jokers in school, and they carried it with them. And then next thing you know, it becomes you ever remember Spy versus Spy from Mad Magazine?
Oh yeah,
it's just
of course.
It's just Ron, Chris, or Gus and Bob going, and that's going to be my short movie debut.
That sounds good.
Those two going at it like a couple of stooges? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even be talking about this because someone might steal it, but.
Right. It'll get out anything they have from making movies together. Let them blow off some steam if they have any toward each other. I don't see how you can't have steam against Ron now and then, but
you get those two together in a room, you're getting something special. And that's and because you've been there. But why not put them in front of the camera for a change?
Yeah, exactly. Instead of behind it. Yeah, and it's kind of like that. I mentioned with Felissa and me and Ron having kind of some cohesion. Yeah, me, Ron, and Chris and Jeremy Hirsch, we kind of, I don't know. There's something there. We just click, break each other's cojones, and just like wavelength-wise, creatively, we all kind of, I don't know, we all kind of think kind of the same way, which again is scary if you're talking about Ron, but we I don't know, we just click for some reason. So, I'd like to do one of those 48-hour film festival or 24-hour film festival short kind of things where, you go somewhere and you pull names out of a hat, like a genre and style and character and an item or whatever, and you have a day or two to make a short using all the things you pulled. And I just think me and Ron and Chris and Jeremy and throw in Xander and Diane, and obviously you and Megan and some of the other people. I'm just curious what the heck our twisted minds would come up with. I just think it'd be a blast. We just hole up somewhere in an Airbnb or something for 48 hours and sleep in shifts, and somebody's writing, somebody's editing, somebody's shooting, somebody's lighting, somebody's blocking, and we just blow something out and see what kind of twisted nonsense we come up with.
And the best part about writing, or at least my favorite part of writing, is the brainstorming.
Yeah.
Because you got ideas here, you got ideas there, and this is where you get organized, where I'm OCD and a perfectionist. I mean, it doesn't have to be solid, but it's like, well, you know, I do things in a specific routine. Yeah.
Right. And with one of those competitions, you kind of have to, because you're not finding out anything until you do the draw. And then, you know, like I said, you get a genre, you get a character, you get a prop. You just have to put your heads together, and you know, all the time you're thinking and all the time you're talking, the clock's ticking. Yep. You know, if you don't submit 1 second before the clock runs out, you're not in. I've been in a couple of those, and it's a lot of fun. Only as an actor, so I didn't have the 48 hours of stress. But yeah, I was in one called Bengali, and we all had a blast, and came out really.
You know what? I would have to try a few, like, off the record on the side, you know, just to get my mind in the proper, you know, frame of mind. Because I've never admitted this in public, but in July I'm officially getting tested for autism, and it will answer a lot of questions. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because it takes me my brain longer to process things. So that's why I'm like, give me a few tries on my own and just see how I react. That's all.
Right. Yeah. And that's, you know, we're all, our little group, our gang, whatever you want to call us, we all take care of each other, and, you know, there's no pressure. And that's another thing I like about it. It's like our own little indie horror Second City TV kind of thing, or it's just a good time. I mean, there's days I'm not even filming that I just go hang out with everybody.
Like you did in Part of Fire.
And yeah.
And if anyone, if you watch, I'm sure you watched that movie, and it shows at the end credits, it's like, and who's not in the movie is Robert Todd Kennedy. I'm like, dude, come on.
Right.
That was not nice.
Well, that's we talked. We had talked about me being in the movie, and I got there late because I had a 50th birthday party for my niece. So we got done the party, and I flew over there, and they got an early start, and everything was running smooth. So they had wrapped, and I said, well, it's no big deal. And, you know, I don't have to be in it. I just came to hang out. And I said, well, maybe we could do something where I just come to the door and ask if I'm late. And I actually said that to Jax Playton. And he's like, well, go tell Ron. And I went and told Ron. He's like, Chris, don't put the camera away. Because I think Chris, he was ready to relax. And so initially, I think the idea was, I think, as a matter of fact, I said a couple of lines, but I think we only had the mic on the camera. We were too far away. So I guess you didn't pick up my audio, but I think it's better the way it came out. I like it better the way
Wait a minute. We had a boom mic. Wasn't that used?
I don't think so. I think everything was put away. I could be wrong. But everybody was cleaning up and rapping, so. But I like it better the way he did it. I think it's funnier. I think it fits better.
And
because he was just going to slam the door in my face, which he still does.
I was like, once again, that was not nice. But I still thought it was a little funny. As long as you're laughing, then everything's fine, you know.
And Chris, you know. That's just
exactly.
what we do.
So, Part of Fire, ladies and gentlemen, is a spoof of Terrifier. You know, Art the Clown. So Ron and Chris from Black Hat Films beat Scary Movie to the punch as far as creating a spoof. Yeah. I'm almost certain that Art the Clown is going to be in Scary Movie 6, is it? Yeah.
I believe so. I think it's
so Ron and Chris beat them to the punch. And I said that to him. I was like, you're beating Scary Movie.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And the folks that made Terrifier, I mean, Ron and Chris know them, and the guys have seen it and they like it. They, the Levies and Phil, they thought it was great. So yeah, they're totally on board with it. So it's always good to have like the person you're spoofing
Absolutely.
what you do. So that was a definite feather in the cap.
Oh, without a question. And also there was in Swine and Dine there was the Easter egg where there's was it Player Two's mask was in a scene, which was Mark Haynes.
Yes, yeah, Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah. We put his mask is behind one of the characters. It's on a shelf, and it's lighted, so it's backlighted, so it definitely stands out.
Not to go off topic, but the lighting for Swine and Dine was really, really good.
Yeah, it was. It was. I was going to say I was almost speechless the first time I saw it, but here I am, stuttering because, yeah, I mean, just there's something about the lighting to the film that they did. It just, I was expecting, good looking film, their first real effort, and man, the lighting they came up with, the colors, I was blown away. I really was. I wasn't expecting that great a look. I know it was going to have a unique look, but it really looked.
Shout out to Mark Sorrow, Just Jet from Trimungus for providing the lighting for the movie. They did an amazing job, and I was there to help them too.
Yes, they did. Yes, yeah. As you said earlier, that's where we met. Yeah. Everybody again knocked it out of the park on that one. The location was fantastic. God, I wish I remember the exact.
It was Freedom Farm.
It was Freedom Farm, right? Freedom Farm in New Jersey. They're a family that just runs an animal rescue. They have cows, dogs, turkeys,
cats,
chickens, ducks. You name the animal. They're wonderful people. If you get a minute, look them up. Maybe send a donation. Just an awesome family, and they made us dinner. I mean, we weren't expecting that. They were just great folks. So yeah, if you give a chance to send them a few dollars, just mention Swine and Dine, and that's where you heard about them, and give them some support.
100%. And the best part of all about the Freedom Farm is they rescue animals that are not good with humans, because we were told right up front, do not pet the animals. If they approach you, and that's fine, don't do anything. And nobody did, I don't think. Right. I know I didn't.
Nah, well, one of the jackasses, not Ron Black, but another jackass. I forget his name. As soon as I got out of the car, he came from the other side of the field. He came running towards me, and me and this little gray donkey, we were buddies the whole 2 days. He just wanted to pet him, and every time he saw me, he started. I'm like, I don't know what it. I guess we know our kind, maybe. But yeah, he was. They had told us don't, and I'm like, I'm gonna make sure, but nah, he was super sweet. I couldn't. He'd get mad when I walked away.
There you go.
But yeah, it's good that they rescue. They have a big property and they rescue animals that aren't going to find.
I think they got snakes and turtles too, right?
Folks. Oh yeah. They have a warm location inside one of the barns. Yeah, they've got turtles, snakes. I think they have a couple of lizards, if I'm not mistaken.
What was it? It was I think it was night one when we were shooting, and you were there in costume and wardrobe as your butcher character. Yeah. And then you and I were meeting for the first time. We're hanging out, and then what happened later that night? And I think it was around November. There was a thunderstorm.
Oh man!
In November.
I mean, we had to wrap. Yeah, we were filming in a barn garage type building with a metal roof, and it was pouring and thundering and lightning, and we had to wrap. You could not hear a word a character was saying.
But the fact it was November.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and somebody had said it looks like a storm's coming, and I'm watching my phone, and I think I probably showed it to you. I showed it to other people. I'm like, there's no way this storm can be this bad. It's we were freezing earlier today. No. And yeah, oh man, it was, then I'm thinking it's going to be 10 minutes, and it was a good hour plus, hour and a half.
Then somebody was telling stories about how they had to wait or there was a previous shoot and someone had to wait all night just for the weather to go away, and it didn't, and they're getting antsy and this and that. It wasn't us. It was another production entirely, but someone was reciting the story. And it's like, well, I'm just glad it's not us.
What happens? That right. Good time.
That was fun.
I mean, just hang out and hope the rains.
It was just fun just hanging out with the cast and crew. I mean, hanging out with you, hanging out with the Ilson 4K. You were there when he was dangling upside down like a worm, right?
Yeah.
And Chris and I had to hold him up to make sure he got his shot in because it meant the world to him. And for a long time, he wouldn't stop talking about it. I was like, you do what you have to do.
I thought it was going to have to help hold his mom.
Oh, yeah. She was so scared.
She was so worried. I mean, the one thing he's not going to hurt is his head if he falls on it. So that.
Well, we made sure of that, didn't we?
Yeah, we weren't going to let anything happen.
But he wanted a shot, and Ron and Chris were like, okay, if you're absolutely sure, and Ilson was his idea.
Yeah, exactly. And it's fantastic.
It worked out. It all worked out.
It's great, yeah.
So Ron, Chris, hire Ilson 4K again, and definitely hire Robert Todd Kennedy yet again. Just do it. Don't ask why.
Oh, Ron's going to ask why.
He can ask anything he wants. Stooge.
We've talked about a couple of future things. So, yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Ron and I are good. Ron and Chris and I, we're good. Yeah, like I said, the next 2 months, it's just a madhouse for me. So it's good to be busy, but not too busy. But yeah, I think I'm locked into a lot of stuff till about mid-June, and then I think I'm pretty clear. Waiting on dates for a couple of things.
Well, does that mean you're going to have a summer vacation?
It'll be hectic. I hope to, but actually, I'm going to Colorado in August for a week, so.
So
gonna stay at the Stanley Hotel, the Overlook.
You're staying at the Overlook Hotel?
Shining. Yeah, we got the haunted room 217 for Friday.
No, you didn't.
Night, and, yeah, we did, and we're going to go to a concert at Red Rocks.
Take some pics, please, so I can just give you thumbs up. Oh, please, because again, my mom would be so envious of you. She loves The Shining.
See, I'm one of the people that loves the book.
She does too.
And it's a great movie, but I'm kind of in the Stephen King camp that it's a great movie, but it could have been better.
Well, yeah, I mean, there were some differences between the book and the original movie.
Yeah. See, I'm not. It's not a popular thought, but I'm not a huge Jack Nicholson fan. I think he just is Jack Nicholson in everything.
Even in Batman '89, he was just Jack Nicholson. He was the Joker, yes, but he was also Jack Nicholson.
Right,
that's fine.
Jack Nicholson and Joker makeup, and it's fine because hey, it's Jack Nicholson. That's what the people want. That's what the filmmakers want. But the key to The Shining is the slow descent into madness. And okay, you're trying to do a 700-800 page book in 2 hours plus, but he's just Jack Nicholson the second the movie starts. And as I said, standing on its own, it is a great movie. I do like the movie, but the critiques Stephen King has of it, I agreed when I saw it.
And then there was the miniseries that came out years later. And that was more true to the book.
Which isn't, yes, it isn't as good as the movie, not even close, but, the maze isn't a maze. It's supposed to be the animals. It gives, and of course they had 6 hours, I think, so they had time to do the slow descent into madness, but it's going to be interesting staying in the room that Stephen King had the nightmares that inspired him to write the book. Looking forward to that. I might just stay up all night and scare myself.
If you watch the Simpsons episode, it's called The Shinning.
Yeah.
Shh, you want to get sued?
Multiple times.
Mine too. Mine too. It's like no beer, no TV. Make Homer go something something.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean,
I love that. Those are my favorite episodes of our Treehouse of Terror and the horror movie spoofs. And then when the heavy metal bands are on there, when Priest is on there, you know, whoever. Those are always my favorite episodes.
Who was that one band? I can't believe it. Drawing a blank. Is there a spoof band or a parody band? This episode's going to end, and I'm going to remember it the second I click stop recording.
Oh, of course. I will too. I should always write notes before.
It's not your fault. I don't take notes either, although I should.
Well, you never know where it's going
to
go.
That's true, too.
That's the fun. But yeah, that's my other thing, heavy metal. Right in the early 70s, when I was like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, I just, like I said, with wrestling and horror and hard rock and heavy metal, I just latched onto that stuff. And it's
I'll name one band. I'll name one band during that era, and I hope you agree. Black Sabbath.
Oh, of course. Of course. In any incarnation. Ozzy Sabbath.
I prefer Ozzy, but that's just me, though.
Tony Martin. Oh, yeah, I prefer Ozzy, but Dio made some killer albums with him, and of course Dio and his solo stuff's fantastic. I'm just a fan of that whole gang there. Yeah, and you know, not so much pro wrestling, but heavy metal and horror certainly have a tie-in.
Well, not until the 80s with Hulk Hogan, if that counts, because of the rock and wrestling connection.
Yeah. My favorite time for wrestling was in the 80s when in the NWA, when they were using like the real songs, like, you know, the Road Warriors used to come out to Iron Man, and Jimmy Boogie Woogie Man Valiant came out to Boy from New York City, and Midnight Express came out to the themes from Midnight Express. Those were they were the best entrances that I can remember.
I know life. WWE licensed some songs too, like the U.S. Express. You know, Barry Windham, Mike Rotunda had "Born in the USA" from Bruce Springsteen. Wendy Richter, if you remember her, "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" from Cyndi Lauper, which coincidentally was her manager.
Right.
First WrestleMania.
Right. Yeah, she was part of that. Yeah, and then unfortunately, I guess the licensing got too expensive, and they all had to go to their own thing. But to be fair, the WWF, some of those guys had some great theme songs: Degeneration X, Undertaker, Stone Cold. I mean, I forget the gentleman's name, but
Jim Johnston.
Stuff
and he got fired. And he got fired a few years ago. And it's like, why? He's like the father of that music.
Why? Right. He made some.
Yeah, and I'll name a couple right now, like the Brother Love theme song. He made that in a church basement. I'm like, that's so poetic.
Right. It's just, I missed that.
Yeah, I missed the Brother Love show.
And then, like, some of the best matches I ever saw would be Midnight Express and Rock and Roll Express. And just as soon as Midnight's music would hit, the crowd would just be booing and throwing crap. And then when Rock and Roll, you know, they couldn't get down the aisle like Dusty. You know, the fans, you couldn't get through them. They had to have cops and security get them to the ring. And it was just so much better. And the pops were real. Like there's on YouTube, there's a video of the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express in Houston. I think it's at the Summit. And anybody wants to know what wrestling was like in the 70s, more so in the 80s where that match took place, watch that video. It's not a bunch of wannabe part of the show people chanting, no, yes. It's none of that. They're legitimate pops. and especially in that match when Ricky to Robert, the hot tag, Ricky's been getting the crap beat out of him. He tags Robert. Fans blow the roof off of the Summit. It's like, I mean, most of us knew what wrestling was. I mean, I knew from when I was a kid what it was, but still, you just park your whatever belief at the side of the building and you go inside and you just let it flow. And man, some of the crowds for those particular Rock and Roll Midnight, man, I'm a huge Midnight Express.
So you love Jim Cornette then?
Rest in peace, Dennis. Yes. Rest in peace, Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton.
Rest in peace.
Passed away relatively recently. I love that tag team. But I was big in the NWA. The Crockett years to me were the best years in wrestling. You had the Russians, the Road Warriors, Rock and Roll, Midnight Express, Fantastics, of course the Four Horsemen,
Ric Flair,
Dusty, Magnum before he had his unfortunate accident. You had Manny Fernandez. Man, the NWA, it was loaded, and it wasn't that cartoon stuff happening out of Connecticut. It was still real.
Well, I think it was great that we had both at the time because you had one for the kids and one for the adults.
Exactly, and that was great. And I mean, hey, kudos to Vince. Mom and Dad don't want to go to wrestling. If they got 4 kids and they want to go to wrestling, the kids are going to nag Mom and Dad, and Vince is going to sell 6 tickets to the family.
I tried with my dad. He said no.
That's the way my mom and dad were with Kiss. I worshipped Kiss. Can you take me, can you spend 90 minutes of your life taking me to see Kiss? And no.
Is this before or after the makeup? Or during the makeup or after the makeup?
This was like 75,
76. We're talking Destroyer and Rock and Roll Over at this point.
Oh, yeah, Destroyer, Love Gun.
Yeah, Love Gun was 77, I think.
They finally...
Yeah.
Yeah, we all finally got our driver's licenses, and it was the Dynasty Tour. And they were playing Philly Friday night and Saturday night. We were on tickets for Friday night, and all of our parents are like, well, why don't you wait till Saturday? Then you don't have school. Well, of course, that was when Kiss started to slide, and nobody liked Dynasty, so they canceled the second show. So
that sucks, man. I'm sorry.
I mean, I've seen Kiss in every incarnation. Seen Vinnie Vincent Invasion. I've seen Ace Frehley's Comet. The only person I haven't seen is Peter solo. And with his new album coming out this past November, I'm hoping he comes, at least does a small... Do
yourself a favor. You're going to New Jersey Horror Con next month. Peter Criss will be there. Do yourself a favor and meet him.
Peter's there. Yeah. Oh, I've met him before. He is the nicest, sweetest, most wonderful guy you will.
I can concur, and here's why. Because I met him for it was like one of those 10-minute meet and greets, and I was just like, boo, boo, boo. I don't know what to say. I'm like so starstruck. And he was just like trying to make small talk with the rest of his entourage. Like, so how about them Giants? But the first thing he said to me was like, wow, you're so tall. And because he was trying to reach up to give me a hug. And I said, well, you should break out your platform boots so you can keep up with me. And he said, no, those days are behind me. And I was like, damn. And his wife, Gigi, was there. I was like, I tried, ma'am. Exactly. It was fun. And he signed my solo LP record I got from him in 2012. And also a reunion, 1996 Kiss reunion action figure. Yeah, so he was like, you bring 2 items, he'll autograph it. You get to talk to him for 10 minutes. It was like a 7-hour wait, and it cost $300 at the time. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I saw him at the Greater Rock and Roll Expo.
Oh, that's Oaks, PA.
Surprisingly, there wasn't many people. Yeah, and supposedly for whatever reason, not supposedly, for some reason, there wasn't many people there. And I actually got to talk to him for like 10 minutes. And I got the 4 solo albums the day they came out. So I got my original bought day one Peter Criss album signed, and I got his book signed. And
from was it from Makeup to Breakup? I read that book. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yes.
The only thing I don't like about Kiss is just
Kind
the
of like all
drama.
of them.
It's like, after the fact, it's like,
Yeah.
there's two sides to every story, and nobody's right, nobody's wrong.
Right.
And you wish they get along, but that sometimes that just doesn't happen. It is what it is.
No. And who knows how sincere Gene and Paul are since Ace passed away, but Gene has said he wished he'd have been kinder and reached out. Paul hasn't said much, but hey, you got to do everything before it's too late. That's why I'm making movies.
You still got plenty of mileage left for yourself.
Want to do? I hope so. Yeah, just going to do it until I can't. And then I'll take up guitar. That's my next plan. When the movies are too much for me, I'm gonna kick back and.
There's an app you can download where you can learn to play guitar.
Yeah, and that's what I'll do. I already have a guitar. My wife got it for me for Christmas a few years ago, but you need to put the time in, and right now I'm just a little too busy.
Well, you're talking about guitars. With technology today, as versus 20, 30 years ago, you could buy a drum kit that doesn't make a whole lot of noise. It's like one of those $2,000 electric drum kits.
True.
And you ever heard of a Rock Band?
Yeah, there's all. Oh yeah, I play Rock Band and guitar.
There you go. Learn drums that way.
Yeah, and I haven't played in a while because they've moved on to bigger games, but yeah, it was pretty good. So I think it's there. Just when I decide to fully commit to it.
I just discovered this again, not to go off topic, but recently I bought an electric guitar controller from Amazon. It turns out that I'll show you. Put this down here.
Cool.
It's official by Sony, so it's real, and it works on the PS3 Guitar Heroes games. And I think I got 4 of them so far: Warriors of Rock, Aerosmith, Van Halen, and Legends of Rock, the third one. So
okay, yeah, I know we had the first just Guitar Heroes.
That was before the music was being licensed.
Yeah. I know we got Van Halen. I'm pretty sure we got Aerosmith.
Yes, there was.
Was there a Metallica? I think we have that one.
That was Rock Band, but I wouldn't surprise me if you had that one either, because you said you had
Rock
both.
Band. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we have that too.
I just the only regret that I have with was it Guitar Hero is that Motley Crue didn't get their own version, because that would have worked.
Yeah, it would have, big time. Yeah, it would have. Yeah, I've told you before, I've never really been a big gamer, but when my daughters got into Guitar Hero and Rock Band, yeah, we were jamming away in the basement for.
It was like every night like that felt like a Saturday night.
Yeah. And we, school was in when they got done their homework, down to the basement. So my oldest daughter actually had said she wanted to learn guitar, so hopefully she'll.
Well, the good news is that the good news of technology today is it's much easier to learn. It's not, you don't have to learn the old-fashioned way, although that's the preferred method. Right. Depending on the era you grew up in. But like today, it's like anything's possible. The same with I wouldn't say filmmaking, because I'm not allowed to use that term. I went to video production school over 20 years ago, and like, you cannot say the word film. You're not filming. You're taping. You're recording. You're doing whatever. You're doing anything but filming, because you're not using film, and that's fair.
And that's the best thing about today is, if you were starting out as a filmmaker 20 years ago, you got a bunch of friends trying to make a movie and trying to be serious about it. You probably wasted a whole lot of film. Now, just delete it. It's all memory. It's, just like with cameras, I used to take pictures, get a roll of 36 pictures developed, and 20 of them were good, and 16 were thrown in the trash. Now with a cell phone, you take better pictures, you can edit them, even if it's not centered, or you can clean them up, focus them. It's the same way with movies. You can't say we're wasting film here, because we're not.
Exactly, and
it's a good thing, because now anybody has the opportunity to make something. And depending on how far you want to go, you just get a bigger and better camera.
Speaking of which, let me ask you: do you know the one of our mutual friends who made a movie strictly on a cell phone?
I know.
Well, can you name a couple? I don't want to give it away, just in case.
Well, honestly, there's two that I've been on that haven't released yet. So I don't know.
I'm talking about Paul Sutt's movie Hunt, Chase, Kill. That was filmed entirely.
Entirely on a cell phone.
You couldn't tell. It looks like a legit movie. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm saying he used a cell phone, and it looks like it was shot on a more like a $20,000 camera.
Right. It definitely looks like it was a black or a black magic or a red or. Yeah, it definitely came out great. There's a couple I've filmed, but Lord knows if they're ever going to come out. So I'm not giving them any name value.
No, I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to out Paul Sutt was the reason.
But right, yeah. No, I think it looks fantastic.
I think it's coming out later this summer on Amazon, right? Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah, I'm hoping he makes physical copies.
I told him that too. It's like, you make a physical copy, I'll buy a copy so you can autograph it.
Oh yeah, and I get one for me, one for each of my daughters, go for my parents or family to pass around. So, I want them for my collection, but I also it's helping the filmmaker buying some.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to find the copy of McCab Mountain that I bought.
Nah.
Yeah, here it is.
Looking for a movie. There it is. Yeah, that's me. Yay, I'm on the cover.
Looking. Are you on the cover? I'm looking.
Left side. Yeah, left side. Left side, right in the middle, just about. That's me.
I don't see you. But then again, maybe you are. You're just above Ashley Ray, right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right off of Felicia's shoulder.
Okay, I wasn't sure why I couldn't catch it at first. And that's autographed by Xander Goldman. And one day you too.
Cool. Yes, yeah. Well, you bring it to the New Jersey Horror Cons whenever you come. I mean, Jeremy's there. His son's there sometimes. Felicia's there. I mean, you could do a pretty good job on that cover. I believe Jeremy's on the cover.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's not on the cover. Yeah, I think he's on the lower right. Yeah, I mean, Dave Sheridan. Just keep bringing it to every New Jersey Horror Con. We all get there eventually, if not always.
So what I'm going to do is, because we're working together tomorrow, I'll bring my copy with me for you to sign.
There you go.
Easy peasy. Easy. And for everyone else, go to the New Jersey Horror Con and catch up with Robert Todd Kennedy and the rest of our friends there. Most of them will be over at the Jersey Horror Con, and hopefully the other half of my friends will be at the We'll Deal with Love premiere.
Right, absolutely. And if not, we'll figure out a way to get it maybe get it to open one of my films. If we can get a little double bill, maybe a double bill with Swinandine, we can talk.
And then finish up with a Q&A if possible. You, Ron, Chris, and anyone else you can get. I know it's hard to get a hold of the rest of the crew because we're all over the place.
Right, all over the place and filming. And
I think Fred's from Virginia. Ilson is from New Jersey. Yeah. And when I say New Jersey, I'm thinking like closer to New York City.
Coming from out.
Yeah.
Right.
That might have changed. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah, most of us are within 3 hours of each other, except I guess Xander, Megan. There's a few people that I don't think are a quick drive.
Megan's in
They're all
Ohio.
still close. I mean, yeah, she's in Ohio. Yeah, I mean, I don't think too many of our regular gang is below North Carolina.
I
Or
think
west
Handsome
of
Danny is in Michigan.
but a lot are
Uh-huh.
just yeah, he's in Michigan. But yeah, the majority are Jersey, Delaware,
I
southeastern
think
PA.
Frank Aguilera is from Philly, I think, but he works in California also.
I think
Because
yeah,
he's worked with Ginger
I
Lynn
believe
Allen, the
right.
adult film actress.
Yes, she killed me in a film.
Are you allowed to say the title, or is it too
Fun
soon?
to work with her. No, I'm pretty. Are we out? Pretty sure we're released. Let me check. Yeah, we're released. Grind with
Okay,
Mark
I've heard of
Hansen.
that.
Yeah, yeah. It's good. It's a kind of a Lovecraft sci-fi horror kind of thing. Looks beautiful. Some great effects. Yeah, another film I've been in that people have really commented on things other than the story and some of the performances. It's got a real good look, real good cast. And yeah, Ginger and I are in that
Are you going
together.
to? So one last thing, and then
And
we'll end the episode. But are you going to Atlantic City next month?
okay. Hopefully, depends on my dates. I'm waiting for specific dates for a couple of things, which kind of overlap that.
I know
So
Frank and
we'll see.
Ginger Lynn are going to be there, and I was invited to hang out with them for just a little bit, just long
Yeah,
enough to to say hi.
yeah. I'm hoping I can get there, but like I said, I got I think six movies I'm acting in the next 6 or 8 weeks, and I got to travel to and from Connecticut, to and from Kentucky/Ohio. So if I'm free, yeah,
And
I
and
definitely would
one
like to
last
go.
thing, if you are able to go, then we can carpool if you want.
Okay,
Just
absolutely.
I'll drive,
No
and you
problem
can
there.
take a nap or listen to music
Yeah,
and be like, hey,
sweet.
what's that?
Or entertain you, or we can talk
We can talk
wrestling,
wrestling,
or
we
we
can
can
talk
talk
about movies,
wrestling
we can talk about future projects.
and movies. Absolutely, absolutely. We'll be there
Exactly.
before
Hey,
then.
time really does fly when you're having fun.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. That's like I said. I'm retired. I'm sitting home. If I'm not reading a script, I'm watching horror movies or hanging out. So when somebody's filming close by, if I'm allowed on set, even if I'm not acting those
One of these
days,
days, I'm
that's
going to
where I
get you
want
into
to be.
horror video games.
It's great people. That's the way to get me is
Well,
horror.
can you think of another way? I can't.
Absolutely. No, well, maybe pro wrestling, maybe
Well,
WWE games. I actually, I actually bought the New Japan Fire Pro game, but I never played it yet, so I have to check that
well,
out.
as far as horror games, I want to get you into Resident Evil and Silent Hill. I want to get you started with those.
Right. I think I played the first. I know I played the first Resident Evil. Maybe started into the second one, but
Wow.
I just didn't have time. I mean, I had back in the day, I had flyer season tickets and was working for 48, 60 hours a week, and then we had kids, and there just was no time for video games. I just
It
got
happens.
totally
It
away
happens
from
to
it.
the best of us. So you played the first Resident Evil. You remember the live action actors at the beginning of the game? Um,
Hmm. Vaguely. You'll have to refresh me. I do remember the
well, I
beginning of the
think
game.
the actor who played Chris. No, I know this. His name's Charlie, and we're actually friends on Facebook, and he wants to be a guest on the podcast soon.
Ah,
Because he started going
nice.
to
Cool.
video game conventions
Definitely have to
dressing up
get
as
him
the
on.
character. Although it's been 30 years. This year's the 30th anniversary.
Yeah,
30 years.
I hate I hate hearing about anniversaries. Oh God, especially like 50th anniversaries of Kiss Destroyer. Oh, okay, yeah, well, I was only 13 when that came out. Now it's been 50.
Well,
talk about, I'm feeling good today, and something aging you or making you feel it
Well, if it
real
makes
quick. All these
Well, I mean, you
anniversaries
grew up
popping up.
listening to Kiss the right way. I had to go backwards because I grew up I was born in
Right.
'79. That was the year of Dynasty. I didn't get to see Kiss in makeup. I didn't even know they were in makeup. All I knew was them on MTV. From the first album I saw them play was Asylum.
Animalize and all that stuff.
Look
Silent,
it up.
look it up. Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Animalize
I mean,
Asylum and then Crazy
every,
Nights.
right. Everybody gets into their 50s and 60s always says, well, I grew up in the best time. And, I listened to my dad, my grandpa, my great grandfather, and yeah, okay. I grew up in the best time. I was 10, 11 years old around 1972, 73. I got all that 70s music, 80s music. I've been to probably 1,000 concerts. You name a band, I've seen them in their prime, except for Kiss. Thanks, Mom and Dad. And, wrestling. I've seen Bruno live, Pedro Morales, Andre, Gorilla Monsoon. I was at his retirement match. I mean, 80s horror. I was there. 80s new wave. I mean, I was in my teens and 20s in the wheelhouse of what I think is the best time for horror, for heavy metal, for pro wrestling. And, other people have other opinions. Obviously, younger
Right.
people don't know that stuff. But you ask me, most music the last 20 years sucks, if you can call it music. There's still some great stuff like Disturbed and Godsmack and Stained. There's great stuff out there. It doesn't just
Disturbed, Saliva.
but I love Saliva. Saw them, matter of fact, I saw them with Kiss and Ted Nugent on the farewell tour.
That's cool. I wish Josie Scott would just come back to Saliva. He's the lead singer.
Yeah, that would be great.
That would. What was it? What else did I say? Disturbed. They're still around. They're great. They're better than ever.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love them. Yeah, I love
Godsmack.
Godsmack. I love all those guys. All those.
What about Limp Bizkit?
Like I said, Stained. I like Limp. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. I love Linkin Park. My daughter
Rest in peace,
loved it.
Chester.
She was like devastated when Chester. Yeah, she was devastated by that. We like Korn.
Audio Slave.
Manson. Oh yeah,
Foo Fighters.
Love Rage. Love Stone Temple Pilots. Yeah.
Remember Velvet Revolver?
Chains, Foos. Yeah.
Yeah. It was Guns N' Roses meets Stone Temple Pilots. It was like the perfect marriage.
Yep, and I never got to see them. Yeah, unfortunately, I never
got to listen to them. I never saw them live, and I wish I did because, again, their music was spot on. It was, long before Guns N' Roses ever got back together.
Yep. I learned like music and wrestling and just anything. I learned a harsh lesson from my parents. They had a chance to see Elvis at the Spectrum, and they hemmed and hawed, and it was a work night, and they said, nah, we'll go see him next time. Well, I'm sure you know where it's going. There wasn't any next time. And that's why I wanted to see Kiss so bad back in the day. And I just learned from their telling me that if there's a band I want to see, I'm seeing them. If there's a wrestler I want to see and try to meet, I'm seeing him. If there's an actor at a convention and I'm a fan, I'm going to meet him. Because you just never know. And, it's like, I'm not the stalker type. I just like to meet them, get a picture with them, and tell them how much I appreciate what their work means to me. As a wrestler, or an actor.
Absolutely. And how it inspired you to go on your own journey.
And yes, and those different things all have. As I said, with ECWA, I was able to actually be in a match and some other things. I've been able to do the movie thing. When I learned to play guitar, I don't know if I'll ever be good enough to play in front of an audience, but it's a goal to maybe just one time, just play rhythm with the friends. I'm friends with a lot of bands. Just let me stand there and play some rhythm.
Here's a thought. Play at Mojo 13 live.
Yeah.
You're not the only one.
Love Mojo. I love halftime too. Can't wait to Can't wait to roll into halftime. They got several shows the next few months.
Wow.
Power Man 5000, Trapped, Kings of Thrash with Ellefson and Roland from Megadeth. So yeah, they got some shows rolling in. And they're 5 minutes away. So
I haven't heard Enough's Enough in years.
So yeah, I haven't heard them in so long, and I haven't seen them. They were in Newark at the Firehouse years ago.
Is that off Main Street?
I saw them. So
Or am I thinking of something else? Like
if it would be. It would be the other way. Like if you were on 896, turn left to Main Street, you would turn.
Okay,
right
I think. Okay, I'm getting my venues mixed up.
They have wrestling sometimes, and yeah, but yeah. So Enough's Enough this month. I believe is going to be at halftime. So if I'm home, I'll be there. Definitely be at all of them.
That's so cool.
If I'm home.
Well, like I said, I'd love to see you be able to play rhythm guitar at Mojo 13. I think that would be awesome. That would be cool. It would be like two for the price of one. It's like one being at Mojo and then the other just watching you play.
Right. Yeah. Maybe next time my boys Faster Pussycat come in, I'll ask Tammy, can I just stand behind you and just strum? Something like that. I don't know.
That's another band I haven't heard from in years is LA Guns.
Next time they come to town.
Yep.
Bang Tango. Yeah. I got to know
pretty cool.
Those guys pretty well. Yeah. I don't know if I know them well enough they'd let me get on stage with them.
You know what? I was just thinking, there's probably another friend of mine. I want him on the show, but it'll probably never happen. And he seems to know as many people as you do, but you seem to know. No, both of you know the same people. I will send you a message on Facebook Messenger. I'll give you the name. You just tell me if you know him. If you know him, it's going to blow my freaking mind. If you don't, then you need to meet him, and he needs to meet you, and then the rest will be history. Well, no, because he goes to all the Monster Manias, and he's met everybody that imaginable.
Yeah, I've been to so many, like I don't even get autographs.
Neither does he.
Half the time, because I've met everybody, but fortunately they're both expanding their horizons a little bit. So the last few I've been able to get a few more people.
Well, I think the last Monster Mania I was at was could you see the alien behind me? That's Aliens Colonial Marines for PlayStation 3. Michael Bean, who played Corporals Hicks in Aliens, was in this game. So I asked him to autograph it, and then an ambassador for Troma named Justin Silverman. And I was like, oh, man, you're going to make Mr. Bean sign that? What's wrong with you? I'm like, the game sucks, Chris. I know.
Did you get the new? Isn't there a new Alien video game out?
I think so. Fire Team Elite. I
don't know for sure. I might be. Maybe, I think a new Thing game came out too, didn't it? I might be wrong about Alien, but I think the Thing game came out. That could be it.
Yes.
Is that relatively new?
And then there's this one too.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember seeing that.
You were asking, and I showed you this. Here's a close up, and that's autographed by the man himself. Yeah, he was cool as hell.
Cool. Yeah, I've met so many people from that movie except Sigourney Weaver, but a friend of mine did get her autograph for me. He met her, so it's close, but it's not the same. But yeah, just about.
So before we wrap up, do us both a favor. Invite me over to your house. I'll bring pizza and wings and fries so we can watch this.
Oh,
it's supposed to be the ultimate documentary to aliens, and it was a crowdfunder too.
I just ordered joined the Thing crowdfunder. That's supposed to come in April.
I think you're right about the game. It got a remaster treatment.
That one. Yeah.
It was originally PlayStation 2, but now you can buy it digitally on the Nintendo Switch or the PS4, PS5 as a digital. And it's from a company called Limited Run, and they're going to bankrupt me. No, I'm serious because it's like whatever game they release, it's like, yeah, you can get a digital copy at the regular price, but if you really want a physical copy, you got to pay a little extra. And it's like, come on, you're going to bankrupt me.
Yeah, it's nonsense. Right. Yeah, my daughters are the same way. My daughter and her fiance and my youngest daughter and her boyfriend. If they're home or if she's home, she's up there with the headset on and
Are
they're
they?
gamers extraordinaire. Yes. Yeah, I can't even remember what they're playing now, but they're all about
Anime is
gaming
fun
and
too.
anime. They, yeah, they've gotten me into it. I love One Punch Man and started on Jujutsu Kaisen and
Well, let's keep
Taxi.
this simple. How about this? Or
Yeah, I remember that
this.
one. You got to remember, dude. Yes, indeed. Man, I go back to going over to my grandparents' house and spending all afternoon in my uncle's room playing Pong. I was in at the ground level, so you would think I'd be. Oh, that's my wife's game. Pac-Man and Miss
Except people
Pac-Man.
trashed this one. Oh, it
That's
was like,
her.
dude, it's
That's her
Atari. Give it a
groove.
break. You're not going to get
Yeah.
crisp graphics unless you go to the arcade. That's the way it was back then. Today, it's like you can just download games at the comfort of your own home
Right.
for the most part. And yeah, there was a few exceptions, but you know, back then it's like you had the Atari at home, and then you want to go out, you go to the arcade.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I did the whole gamut when I was younger. Atari, Sega Genesis, Nintendo, all the way through
I
each
still have those
grade.
actually. I told you that.
I guess I think we have some of ours. I know we have all of our PlayStations because that's my kids. We as soon as they were old enough, we dove into PlayStation 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're my fault. They were also into wrestling in a while when they were
Attitude
kids.
Era, and then you know today we were talking earlier about Danhausen being
Yeah.
in WWE, so and he's been killing it so far on screen. Still waiting for his debut, and I'm hoping at WrestleMania he gets his big blimp Joker style. Because he's talking about a giant blip. Now, like the Joker from the Batman comics had a giant blip, and you know, in a few issues, it's he's straight. It's a flat out borrow there. I'm thinking, do it, dude,
Right.
do it,
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be
or
awesome.
wrestle, do both, do everything. And then I'm hoping
why
that
not?
you know
Who
you,
knows they
myself, Paul, and Xander will dress up as Danhausen goons, and you can be the leader for all I
There
care.
you go. Got the whole unit. Oh,
It doesn't
your
matter to
idea,
me.
you're the leader.
Just because I have an idea doesn't mean I have to be in charge. We're all a team.
Right.
I don't mind sharing the spotlight. I know you don't.
Yeah. Whatever. No, I'm not at all. Not at all. I do that on a lot of sets. You know, I know enough to make sure I'm on camera, but if I'm on camera enough and somebody else keeps lingering in the back and get up here, you know.
Well, like I said, just
You know, a lot of people are shy. A lot of people are shy those first few movies, and they hang in the back, and it's like
that's
I can
probably
see
why
you
we're.
back there. Especially if they're shorter than me. I always have no problem with people shorter than me standing in front of me. You would have a problem with
Chris, you're in the shot. Get the hell out of here! And I back up like a Homer bracket, walking back to that shrub meme. You know what I'm talking about?
You could be in a shot. Just make sure I'm standing.
I was like, as soon as I heard him, I was like, just 3 steps back, and I was like, action. Sorry, Ron. I'm just waiting to clean up the cake off the floor. That was funny. I wish you were there for that, but that's okay. So we're going to work together tomorrow. That'll be fun. Is there anything you want to plug or promote yourself before we
See you
go?
tomorrow.
I got a couple of
How
minutes.
much time do you have? Well, I don't want to get carried away. Like I said, we're getting ready to wrap Crimson Harvest, which we both worked on. Hopefully, we can wrap on that in a couple days. Working with Daniel John Kearney on 2 films coming up: The Itinerant and
Fragmented Mind.
Yes, and Diane Clayton got Then Came a Rainbow is almost wrapped, and then we're going right into The Forgotten, Awaken in the Dark. Looking forward to that. I've got Chase Dudley's Between the Living and the Dead. So much going on. Coming out, I believe, relatively soon this summer are a couple of films. I just don't know if I'm at liberty to say, so
Don't worry about
I'd rather not. But yeah, I think I'm going to have 3 or 4 coming out in the next few months. But
I got you. You know, just provide what you feel comfortable with, and then the rest will fall into place. And then pretty soon, I'd say in a few months, we'll have you back on the show, and maybe you got some more bragging rights to tell us.
Sweet. I hope to have it. It looks like I'm going to have about 8 more films in my belt by then. Oh, I forgot I've got The Legend of Tinkerhell with Ann Myrna and the folks from Acrostar. I've helped produce a lot of their films. This will be my first time working on set with them, so I want to give them a shout out.
Anyone else?
And Let's Do It Again. Nah, I'll be here. Like I said, I've done 45 movies, and I really would like to mention everybody, but
Fair enough.
to the more recent stuff.
We'll have you back on here in a few months, and you can just brag away.
Yeah, cool. Because I'm
great. And give us more to talk about, and then other future projects. So thank you for being on the show, and we'll have you back on in a few months. All right. Well,
sounds good.
See you tomorrow. Take care.
And see you tomorrow.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. You too. Bye-bye. Yep.